Today we are talking about positive classroom culture. So I watched your lesson a few times. And I noticed that the lessons were very positive. When I say positive, I mean that when I look at the students were very motivated. They were helping one another. When you ask them to do group discussion, to solve problem for their friends, right? They're very eager to help their friends. I feel that that's what makes a learning environment very safe. So that students want to learn. So how do you do it?
Thanks, Francis, for the question. I think it's also in everybody's minds on how can we make our classroom a positive environment so that our students are able to learn better. I think the foundation that we need to set is that the expectations and routines in the classroom has to be stated very clearly, meaningfully, and accepted by all our students during the lessons. If the expectations and routines are not set properly, I don't think there is even a chance to have a positive classroom culture. And when there's no chance for a positive class culture, there's no way that we are able to get our students to interact confidently and safely with one another. Then I think after saying this, right, it begs the question as to how can we establish our expectations and routines. And I think there are three main parts. First and foremost, because I like our students to actually do a lot of interaction. So the interaction routines and expectations has to be there. So I will always start off my lesson by stating very clearly that they have to be patient, and listen to one another before speaking. They have to be kind so that they can support one another to help one another learn better. Sometimes once in a while, I'll demonstrate how do they look like to the students before they go and do their activities itself. Then there is the typical classroom routines which everyone talks about. Everyone gather in 6 rows, everyone gather in 6 circles. You must come down by what time, you must be ready by within how long. This will be the classroom running routines which we always focus on. Then finally, there is a lesson running routine whereby there's a lesson flow or a flow to the lesson where there's a start, there's the body, and then there's the end to conclude, to consolidate learning. I will share with my students the flow of the lesson as well. Not every lesson, but probably every other lesson, so that they roughly know what's going to happen during the entire 60 minutes of their learning. So once these three routines and expectations are set, I think it sets the stage up for us to improve and really build on the positive class culture that we want.